Top 25 most difficult Scrum Master interview questions. Those are the questions we are going to answer in this video. These questions came from actual students who are actually interviewing, and these are from real interviews. None of these questions are from thin air. These questions have actually been asked in real interviews, and we are going to answer these questions for you, for my students who are in my mentorship program, for everyone who's watching this video, and give you value. If you are not in my mentorship program, click on the link down below. Set up a mentorship with me. If you are looking for a Scrum Master job, or if you want to do good at your job, current Scrum Master job, click on the link down below and set up a mentorship with me. I'm the only person who can help you out to get a job or to do better at your job. With that said, let's get right into it. It will not be asked in most of the interviews, but some companies, they have Scrum and Master and Project Manager roles kind of intermingled, so they will ask this question: how have you managed a project deadline? So in my past, how I have managed a project deadline is that, first of all, I have maintained a communication bridge between the stakeholders and the process of the technical team, what they are doing and how far we have come so far, what our progress is. The other thing is that by how I have maintained that bridge is by having continuous sprint demos where we showcase our project and what we have done so far, what we have achieved so far, so that we are on the same page at all times, me and my team and my stakeholders, and the bridge is me, which is the project manager or the Scrum Master. The second way I have managed my project deadline is that I have communicated with my team how crucial it is to finish this project by a certain date, and we have planned our sprints out in that way where we are falling short at least 2 to 3 weeks from the project deadline, where we are finishing all our user stories required for the particular project short of that project deadline. That is also how I have managed my project deadline. The other way I have managed my project deadline is by making sure that we have the correct amount of enough amount of resources and enough amount of skills and enough amount of budget to kind of make the project successful. Not only that, also made sure that we have enough amount of infrastructure to kind of make the project successful, right? So I have taken care of all those things in my project, kept in mind what third-party vendors we need, what infrastructures we need, whether it is cloud related or other things. We have availability of that infrastructure, also the resources, the team members who are needed for this to finish this project. Those team members are present there as well in full capacity to help us finish this project. That's how I have managed my project deadline. That's the first question. Now, the second question that has been asked is, how does a Scrum Master get involved in project funding? Now, you will see the word Scrum Master here, so that shows you that it's been asked in a Scrum Master interview, but actually it's a project management question. Now, how you will get involved in project funding as a Scrum Master or as a project manager is that, in my previous project, how I got involved in project funding was through to manage my skill resources. So basically what my team members are getting paid and kind of managing that oversight over that, how much that is, and then also managing third-party vendors along with the infrastructure related products and how much those cost. So basically watching the whole project funding that is involved to finish the project is what I have done in my past as a Scrum Master to kind of manage the project funding. That is what you will answer here. Now, the third question is, now these are proper Scrum Master questions. This is a proper Scrum Master question and will be asked in a Scrum Master interview. As a Scrum Master, tell me about the toughest challenges you have faced. So in this, the interviewer is trying to see the depth of your experience and how you behave in challenging situations. So in this, how I will answer this is that, yes, as a Scrum Master, the toughest challenge I have faced has been with the mindset, changing the mindset of the senior management, as well as the senior tech leadership, as well as the senior people in the tech team itself. Most of the people in my previous roles were in a waterfallish mindset, and they were doing things in a waterfallish way. And when I joined in as a Scrum Master, that was my biggest challenge. And when I try to introduce any new practices like agile practices or the Scrum and proper Scrum empirical process itself, it met with a lot of resistance. Why it met with a lot of resistance is because change is scary. When change comes in, people feel insecure about their positions, especially the senior people. So there was a lot of resistance to the new process. And how I handled, so that was one of the toughest challenges that I have faced. And how I handled that situation was that basically I kept on focusing on being a catalyst by providing mentoring, coaching, and showing the value the new process brings to the table, how much better this new process is, how it can help us deliver our products faster and in a more efficient way and deliver a better product which is focused on customer reviews and customer satisfaction. When I showed the value compared to our current process, uh, that is when the mindset started changing, and that is how I acted as a catalyst to change the process. And that was one of the toughest things I had ever done. So that is how you will answer this question. Now, the next question is, tell me about a time you provided a unique solution to a problem. Now, in this, one thing you can do is you can keep this answer that you answered for the second question, you can keep it here as well. You can say, or we will give you another answer as well. But for the, if you were to keep the answer same, you can say that, when I provided a unique solution to a problem is that when I faced resistance in the mindset of people from waterfall to agile, what I did in that situation was that I showed the value this process brings to the table, and I compared it in numerical terms, the value, in business terms, the value, and compared it to the current process. And that was kind of a unique solution to this problem. And that is how I was able to change the mindset of people, because I was able to show the value the new process brings to the table. Not only I was able to show the value, but I was able to show the value in business terms, in monetary terms, how much better we will be from the previous process, and showed that. And that's how I improved the process, and I was able to convince a lot of people with the new process, the Scrum empirical process, and that was a unique solution to a problem. Now, the other way you can answer this question is that, in my current team, we were facing problems with manual testing. Manual testing was taking a lot of time, so I worked with my testing team to kind of introduce automatic testing, and we were able to kind of reduce our velocity by introducing automatic testing, and I was being a catalyst, a facilitator for that process, and that's how we improved our velocity a lot. So those are the two ways you can answer this question. Tell me about a time you provided a unique solution to a problem. Now, moving on to the next question. Tell me how you help your team to become productive. Now, by being on top of impediments and blockers. You, as a Scrum Master, it is one of your main responsibilities to remove impediments and to help the team move through blockers, to help them resolve faster, to keep the team on point and make sure they don't have any problems in their work and they are doing their work smoothly. That's one of your main responsibilities. So how you will answer this question is that the way I help my team become more productive is by removing any impediments and blockers as soon as they come in, to the best of my ability, as fast as I can. Now, that is just one way I help my team become more productive. The other way I help my team become more productive is by better estimation as well as better user story writing. Now, when my team is writing user stories, what I ensure is that with every user story, there is a proper definition. There is a proper acceptance criteria where the person who is working on the user story, they understand what they need to be working on. There is no vagueness. They don't need to go back and forth, because if they go back and forth, that reduces the velocity, that puts us behind. So how I improve the productivity of my team is by making sure that there are no impediments. If there are impediments, I get them resolved. The other way is by having proper definition with every user story and making sure that everyone in the team is clear on what they need to be working on, so that everything gets done faster. Then when there is more clarity, no vagueness, nobody needs to go back and forth. That is how I improve the productivity of my team. The other way I improve productivity of my team is to find out where we can automate and move away from manual stuff, whether it's testing, whether it's some programs in Jira, where we can move away from manual products and move to automatic testing, automatic solutions to different problems. Those are the way I have increased the velocity and the productivity of my team. Now, the next question is, what continuous improvement have you enacted within your team? Now, this question, uh, it can be asked in many different ways, but we will answer that down the line because we have more questions. What continuous improvement have you enacted within your team? First of all, you need to understand what they mean by continuous improvement when they are asking you this question, right? What they mean by continuous improvement is they want to know how have you improved the process of your team as a current Scrum Master in your current team. How have you improved the process? How have you improved the delivery? How have you improved the team overall with your presence in your current role? That's what they are trying to understand. What value do you bring to the table? How have you brought value to the table? Okay, so this is a very important question. If you get answer ask this question, just remember that this is a very important question. How you will answer this question is, in my current role, how I have enacted continuous improvement within my team is that we have in my current team, we did not have a retrospective when I joined. So when I joined, I kind of I introduced retrospective every 2 weeks, and I facilitated the retrospective every 2 weeks. And before we started, we showed the team the value of the retrospective, how the iterative process works, we how we inspect and adapt, how we sit down in the retrospective and discuss things that we could have improved on during the sprint, and then we improve those things. There is a saying in Scrum that if you have a good daily Scrum and if you have a good retrospective, you can solve 90% of your team's problems. So having that retrospective in the team helped us improve so much in terms of velocity, in terms of estimation, in terms of availability of product owner, in terms of availability of Scrum Master, in terms of in terms of the lot of things that we could have improved in our process that made us much better. So that is one of the most powerful things that I've done for my team, is introduce the retrospective in my team. The other way I have improved my team is by making sure that any reducing the amount of meetings. More meetings were taking time and more useless meetings were being held in my current role, but I was able to reduce the amount of meetings that the team was doing by having proper time boxed ceremonies, proper time boxed events where we were clear on what we need to discuss, we were clear on our agenda, and I was facilitating them to the point we were not getting distracted in talks that were not related to the meeting, and we were not wasting time for so that we need to have more and more meetings. I reduced the meetings by half by being on point in every meeting and facilitating every meeting and making sure that the team doesn't wander off in tangents while discussing different things. That is one of the other more important things, powerful things that I have done for my team when improving continuous in the process of continuous improvement. The other more important thing that I have done for my team in continuous improvement is I have introduced the concept of sprint reports, and I introduce those sprint reports after every sprint to my stakeholders, to my team members, to showcase what they have done, how they have improved, and how more they can improve. When you can measure something, you can improve, right? So in my team, what we have done is we create a sprint report every 2 weeks and we show it to the team as well as the stakeholder. The sprint report, it shows their velocity, it shows our sprint burn down chart, it shows our every user story that we have completed, and it shows that how much time that we have spent on each user story, and it goes into a lot of details. So in having that sprint report for the team to see their velocity and how it's improving over time with all these things that we have been enacting has been a very powerful thing, and has helped my team to be motivated, and it has helped my team to improve over and over and over and over. That is how I have enacted continuous improvement in my team. And that is how you will answer this question.